2-point field goals, and a big part of that is the spacing that has been created because of their made 3-point baskets.
Riley, a rebound shy of a double-double as the WAC player of the
one-possession game.
Beasley off balance, couldn't get it. This is as close as the Wolverines have been since late in the first half. Nelson, the blow by, and the finish.
Lately. Now Graham Foster pulls back. Way short. Here comes Green running. Up ahead to Nelson. Nelson with the flush. The GCU program will tell you, Coach, that put a little chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and chip on shoulder can mean really strong performances, and we're seeing that right now.
Linhart off the screen. Hayden Welling is the older brother of Carter Welling. He's number 8. Nelson is free and knocks it down.
Last time he was in a tournament semifinal was in the NIT with Georgia last year. But his Seattle Redhawks down by 12 as we start the second half.
There's just a lot of good pace in the half court for Utah Valley. You can see which team has pep in their step.
Linhart almost an over and back. Can Dominick Nelson get on track? There he can on the Moana.
One bet I'd make in Vegas, they're about 350 or more in terms of height of NCAA teams.
This one's in from Nelson.
A little bit.
Yeah, they know who they're playing against, I'm sure. And maybe just like you said, putting too much pressure on themselves. And the other thing, they're in front of a really big crowd here who's made some noise early.
Yeah.
Green with it up top. Outside now in the game, Jackson Holcomb. Holcomb gets away. Oh, a nice pass up and under, finishing it home
For Bristow.
Long rebound into the hands of Linhart. Off the foot of Potter. And back to Nelson, who goes right back to work. Up and under. Oh, put a little.
Byron, I've been trying to butter you up all year on that invite to Vegas.
Well,
it just hadn't worked.
I'm not going either this year. I'm gonna work from home. As Nelson going to the basket, up and under. Grimes hands on their feet. They probably don't. Another free throw and the bucket.
Stalled here maybe in the last 20 years.
Nelson to the bucket, got it to go again.
The Wolverines an opportunity to take the lead, and they have worked hard to get back in this game.
And if I'm Coach Phillips, I'm saying just go to the bucket. Nelson does just that. Look what he gets.
In that 5-game stretch, as his first tonight. Nazir DeGrew in for the first time, as is Cade Horniker for the Wildcats. Dom Nelson with an easy lane and an easy finish. Yeah. And Brett Tanner wants our seeding is concerned. They've solidified their schedule in the WAC tournament. They won't play their first game until Thursday. Don't know time, don't know opponent yet. That will play out over the course of the next 3 days. A chance to get as high as the number 3 seed. They can drop as low as 6 with how this week plays out. There's a finish at the rim. Nelson, our conversation yesterday, said really the last 5 to 6 games have felt like tournament play, knowing Grand Canyon has been on our back. It's an offensive rebound, a wide open 3. Nelson from 8. The rim's unkind, even to Hubbard. And saved in. Hubbard another chance, but throws it away to Nelson. Chance to run for the Wolverines. One-on-one with Smith. And a finish right side.
You have to make it for sure.
Maybe something to get some energy here for the home crowd.
There you go, the hard hedge. That's what they needed to be doing early.
Nelson, though, down the baseline. Wow. Nobody picks him up and helps. Eddie all muscles up with Potter. Needs some help. Tough shot, rolls out. Potter runs down the board.
And again, no rebounders.
And now Nelson in transition. Finishes at the rim. And Nelson decides to run some clock. Contact. Got the shot to go. Whistle and a foul. Chance for a
Gonzalez tries to answer. And the Trailblazers just can't find the hoop. 1 for 5 to start. Nelson with the reach back runner. 54, 2 on the shot clock. Beaker's got to get rid of it. Still, there's a lid on that hoop for the Trailblazers. They're 1 for 7 to start. 6 for 7. 8, 7 for 8.
4-minute battles. Those things mean things. We're down to 4 minutes. Utah Tech has finally got the lead, and listen to this Burns Arena crowd.
Nelson got Riley up in the air. That shot clock. Beaker 3, no. Good closing defense on Toulson too.
That's a big stop for the Wolverines.
Nelson for the lead. Yes, sir. Dominick.
Reed rises. The throw up ahead, a long pass, saved back, and how about that for Nelson? Makes his move, steps back. Rebound tipped around. Nelson's got it. Jackson trips at half court, and it's a rising.
Yeah. The key to this going forward for Tarleton State is being able to sustain that energy, and you have to think there might be some lull at some point, but Dom Nelson right now trying to stop the offensive lull for Utah Valley.
The defense of Tarleton State is keeping them from getting the basketball inside where they have a distinct advantage. And at this point, Utah Valley just has not been able to handle the pressure out on the perimeter as well as they should.
Utah Valley needs this guy to get going. Dom Nelson, and he attacks the rack. Trevin Linhart gives way. Dom Nelson rises and puts.
See Robinson out there, and he's really gets things done for this team as well.
A good hard take, no foul call. Here comes Utah Valley, led by Toulson in transition. Dom Nelson thought about it, stops and pops from the key, and he rattles that one through.
And in fact, they won a close one just the other night, and watching that game, and that's kind of why I brought up Robinson. He was really big in that basketball game. There's a position, and in fact, if there's a shot clock violation in this game, you can shave my head.
For those of you who can't see, Josh is already shaved. It's his 5th so far here in the first half.
He's a menace inside.
Tanner Toulson with the strip. Dom Nelson with the flush.
This is a great job.
Through the hoop in the last 2.5 minutes.
Well, what's keeping Utah Valley with his lead is that's the 7th turnover now on the Mavericks. And so Utah Valley doing a nice job of turning the Mavericks over to keep themselves in this lead.
Good defense here by UTA. Grady on the baseline, double teamed. Drops it to Nelson. Somehow was able to find his way to the hoop.
They're all long, they're all lean, they're all athletic. You're welcome, Trevin.
Grady driving on the baseline, kicks it out. Dom Nelson, wide open look, and he puts it through. Nice bounce pass into Burford. Nelson with the defensive swat. Linhart comes away with it. Dom Nelson down low to Grady. Nelson drives, stops, fades away, and buries.
Bryce Drew's stress tonight is he wants great defense like you generally get without the fouling. Doesn't want to deal with any foul trouble tonight, Barry.
Nelson stop, pop, good.
Nice bucket inside for Luke.
Nelson tries to move by Grant Foster, leans in. Nice drive. Yeah. Green walks it up. Led by Makai Williams. Leaves for Nelson. Nelson with 6 points. Cuts inside. Left hand and in. Yeah. Weaves around. Lost it though. Heavy traffic. Holcomb. Nelson. Brennan. And Warren there, back out to Taves. Hippity hop, over to Nelson. Baseline drive. Up and over the top, and a nice one by Ster. Heaves the three. No. Williams tried to grab it, but it's peeled away. Nelson has got a little bit of steam. Takes it all the way on the dribble drive to the hoop.
Coming into conference, so we know he's more than capable, and he's dipped a little bit in conference play, but hopefully for him, he can turn it around.
Downhill, Nelson, huge collision midair with Goma. He may again has the hot hand. Pokes free, Dom Nelson steps up. Him and Harrington, he's going to get there and he's going to flush it home. Nelson. Here's Nelson. Gets under the rim and lays it up. It's just like a blur.
And has become a valuable reserve for the Redhawks.
As much as the Redhawks struggled in the first half at the free throw line, I don't believe they've missed here in the second half, which is big when you're trying to come back now from a deficit. Corner, Nelson, three, and that is a back.
Moose, a good assist guy, gets it to a cutting Sam Silverstein, and then that ball is turned over. Fast break opportunity here, gliding in, Dominick Nelson with a buck.
Coleman. Isn't that his third putback? Or second putback?
It's definitely his second putback for sure. They got 16 points in the paint. They've doubled them up. And there is Dominick now here at California Baptist. It's almost 6 points a game. He played for Colorado State in the NCAA tournament last year as a rotation player for the Rams when they made the field of 68. Open, three, good.
Brian's just trying to figure out the angle where Daniels wanted to be screened, and Daniels just reads the defense. He reads the mail, and he goes the appropriate direction and uses his talent to finish.
Nelson lines up at 5-0 on the whack.
Good pass.
Silverstein missed front iron, tipped and kept alive. Yep, here comes Nelson.
That's right.
And there it is.
Taking advantage of the fatigue.
Here's Daniels. Leading scorer in the WAC has 20 and another turnover. Ahead it goes to Nelson. Nelson with a blow by right there.
I always told my players to drive middle like Musa just did. Get to that elbow, because if you can get past that elbow, you're probably going to get a shot at the basket. You might get fouled, or you can pull up like Musa did.
Inside of 5 minutes to go. Utah Valley trying to stay perfect, win a ninth in a row. Wow. And count it.
I don't think.
How about that? Dominick Daniels Jr., the 5'10 guard from Compton, a junior college transfer with the opening points of the basketball game for CBU, California Baptist University here in Riverside, California. What an amazing atmosphere. Kind of rivals Grand Canyon, which is in the WAC. Here's Dominick Nelson, and Nelson.
Well, and Tanner Toolson obviously hit that three-point shot as we were talking about who was starting. And his play of late has been a real huge spark for Utah Valley. He has been playing extremely well and shooting the ball at a really healthy pace.
He had a season high 22. Ooh, Dom Nelson, who had a career high 20.
That's the cutting guard. But yes, Jackson has really been a spark in this 7-game winning streak.
Nelson drives, and Linhart there. Nelson. Good defense on the outside by Utah Tech. Down low, Holcomb with the kick out. Nelson with 5 on the clock. Stops, floats, and drains.
Well, that's that mid-range.
Awana stops, pops from the free throw line, off left. Here comes Dom Nelson. Now Linhart. Nelson kicks it back out to Welling. Nelson. He's going to let this one fly. Oh, a frozen rope in the lead for Utah Tech. Nelson with the drive and the finish.
Well, it's uncanny. He is a guy that can just really get it done.
Linhart back in the game for the Wolverines. Same with Dom Nelson. Nelson with the drive. Nelson, the floating layup.
Right, you gotta flow towards the middle of the court. He kept on going towards the sideline, which is undefeated. Chris, not gonna work.
Holcomb getting it to Nelson. Nelson has been held down so far tonight. Maybe not.
And what does that do? Ties the game back up. Big time free throws.
I've asked Coach Turner about that several times. You see the scoring output from Robinson a little bit lower than expected. Is that really troublesome? He said no, because he does so many other things around the floor that don't show up on the stat sheet. Even if it's a cold night shooting, we're okay with that.
You can tell he's kind of the engine that makes it all go, and he's a glue guy, and I love how he's playing defense out there.
Now Nelson does need to get some balls. Nearly lost that pivot, keeps possession. Burford short.
Yeah, he does such a good job, Robinson, getting into the paint.
Nelson all the way to the rack, and
again, the silent assassin
pushes the lead to 8 for UTA. Seamster with 9 points, none bigger than the... Utah Valley can tie or take the lead on this trip down.
I like this, back to a 1-2-2, and now man trying to speed up this Wolverine squad.
Minute 35 to go in regulation. Out to Nelson. Nelson and Ware down low. Toulson, best night of his year, 22 points. Nelson, good as he falls away. No chance to get to the hoop. Now Wells falling down, somehow forced it up towards the rim. Utah Valley with a 2-point advantage.
Yeah, big possession here for Utah Valley. UTA's got to stop them from making it a 2-score game.
They do it, 2 possessions.
Silverstein on the block. Now Nelson puts it up for 3, no good.
Good job by Osiris Grady. Goes and gets it, a nice pass.
To Musa, closely guarded by Lenhart. Back to the corner. A great defense from Tanner Toulson with the swat. Now they're going to push it up the floor. Dominick Nelson up and in.
What a great...
Here's Silverstein driving in the lane. He'll kick it back out. And there's Dominick Nelson on the other side. Showtime! Getting things done. Coleman once again inside. And we're back to that inside-out brand of basketball.
And I really love that brand of basketball. It's more of that 90s look. Back when I was cool.
You still are cool.
Yeah.
Nelson drives in on Coleman. Through contact by Trevin Lenhart. He'll take it against Musa. Drives in. No good. Dom Nelson there with the follow-up. Different standings in the early going. That one tipped away. Dominick Nelson tracks it down. He'll drive into the rack, up off the backboard and in.
defensively by Mahan again.
And Vasquez stripped in the key. Ball still bouncing all over the place.
Good, smart play.
And Nelson throws it ahead of conference play, which starts just next week. Abilene Christian and Grand Canyon come to town. Nelson off of a Gallardo hug. Now Michael Henry down low. Vasquez can't find it. Excuse me, Solka cannot find it. And Dom Nelson on the floor yet again. And
yeah, one or the other. Because that was a, oh, wow, steal.
There's a pick.
Nelson throws it off the glass to himself.
Here comes Vucinic. He's had an incredible night so far. And he misfires on this as Welling stands tall.
Did come big to big and double team that this time.
Slicing through Dominick.
Boy, you won't find a nicer little pass than what Alex Q just exhibited there.
It is official that Carter Welling is human. He has proven that for the first time tonight. And Nelson has continued to
just really having a one-on-one battle tonight that I haven't seen for a long time by two big guys.
Vucinic with 10. In the corner, Dominick Nelson, a good look three, and no matter what, heat up.
Well, he took the ball out of bounds, set a back screen, and then received a screen. Utah Valley, not a great job of defending it, but then Tomlin with a great shot fake to free himself.
Much. I mean, we're playing guys straight up. We're able to get to the gaps. They're doing a great job.
8th in the nation in blocks is Evan Otten. Leads the Big Sky Conference in swats. Here is Dominick Nelson. Pull-up jumper in the lane from about 13 minutes and 30 seconds. I can guarantee it. Here is Connor Hollenbeck. Nice move on the baseline. Spin move. Jump shot just a little too long. Long pass ahead to Toulson. Then they get it to Dominick Nelson. Good defense by Hollenbeck. AJ on the night. That's all of his points coming in the second half. He was on the bench with some foul trouble in that first half. Did not score. Holcomb out on top. Tanner Toulson wants to drive to the baseline left side. Shut down by Griffin. Bring it to Linhart. Swing it now back out on top with 8 to shoot. This is Dominick Nelson. He goes in and throws it down with 2 hands. That was it was a good run. Oh, there it is. It was an 18-9 run at the 11:54 mark. Bengals just cannot buy a bucket.
In and out.
Yep, another one halfway down. Dominick Nelson comes to the front court. 68-56. Bengals are trying to get him to come up, or a Bengal coaching staff trying to get ISU defenders to come up and force it. And Jackson Green Quentin Meza knocked the ball away. They were kind of yelling at Jackson Green to come up and help. Down to 7 to shoot. Dominick Nelson, that's a good shot.
Great look. Occurred in the paint, but I think it was a good no call by the officials to let them play.
Toulson now. Toulson, a very talented point guard, but that one is a three-pointer. Half. Leaning in, no, follow-up, count it for Nelson, and the half has ended. Fall away baseline, that's something you don't often see, a bit of an air ball for Geron. And now running the floor, laying it up, a beautiful play. And look, you can hear the conversation in the background. You see the time remaining and the 8-point Jacksonville State lead, which now becomes 6 and could become another.
Just a 2-possession game. Jack State's got to take care of the ball, and which they are not doing.
They lose it. They lose it. Leonard to Green in the corner. Nelson for 3. And time going to be the difference in this one down the stretch indeed. Nelson, they let him go. 2 2/10.
8 on the shot clock. Hawks got to make a move. Pull up three-pointer. Looks like it was tipped. Comes up short. Another strong rebound for the Wolverines. In transition, Nelson in the key. Gets the contact and the foul.
Leonard, 9 and 7 rebounds.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
My man just makes winning plays. He's not a guy that's going to leap out at you when you're watching a game. But after the game, you look and say, wow, that guy just did so many things. Speaking of great job, Carter Welling.
So Leonard will inbound for Utah Valley and bring it up the court. And if you're Coach Todd Phillips, you have to be pretty happy with the production of everybody that's been on the floor. And there's a beautiful three-point finish. Launching them. And look at that board from Holcomb.
Yeah, big, strong board. I like the two hands. Osiris Grady does it. Holcomb did it right there. Go get it with two hands.
Oh, Nelson splitting the D. Attacking the rack.
That was smooth.
Jacksonville State.
Yeah, to get some rest and then get some more frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, for real.
Everybody loves those.
Utah Valley SID, Jason Erickson. I'm curious, what status he has with like Delta or whatever they fly. He's got to have something in there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what a move.
Dom Nelson attacking.
Load offensively, and he's going to do some really good things for you. Speaking of that, look at that dive.
And Nelson on the floor. Nelson drives with the reverse.
And both teams are on the big plus side as far as rebounding is concerned. There's one for Utah Valley. They're at 8.8 plus. The Dukes are at 8 plus. So the boards could prove pivotal here today. And there he is right on cue. Brown with 9 points. Most of those coming pretty early in today's ball game. The drive, and Nelson finds.
Jones got a piece of it. Brown in transition, in and out. Julian Brown's first three-ball look goes wanting, and now Utah Valley wants to push. Back the other way, Dominick Nelson spins it in. That game at 11. Sanford back at home. Trey Fort starting to find his rhythm again. 11 apiece as Nelson attacks, and Nelson spins it in. Yeah. Utah Valley in front by 4. Brownell steps out, another three-point try. This one off the back iron. And Linhart's got the rebound. It's 3-on-2 for the Wolverines. Nelson attacks and lays it in. Two starters still on the floor here for the Wolverines. Corey Wells into the game. He's into the paint, and he couldn't quite connect from close range. Rebound fought for. Wells ends up with it. Welling made the extra pass inside to an open. So the Wolverines turn it over. But get it right back. Wells leading a 3-on-2. Nelson up top for the two-handed hammer. The switch against Grady. Kicked it out to Brown instead. Brown attacks. A lot of contact. He didn't get a whistle. Nelson attacks on this end and lays it in. If we're down to just one. Out of the stoppage, Olenka back into the game. He's helping trap. Good job by Toulson to spin away from it.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you catch that ball in the corner. Don't let those two guys trap you. Get out of it fast. That time they were able to.
UVU content to run some offense here. Shot clock at 8, though. Nelson takes a quick look at it and now has to go to work. One-on-one against Holloway. A deep two is pure. Dominick Nelson since making the jump from Division II to Division I. Quite a quality team here at Utah Valley, a team that's expected to compete near the top of the WAC this season. Another timeout. Wolverines trying to tie the game, but only have 4 to shoot. Dominick Nelson's back in. His mid-range J is good. They got the mid. Noel across the floor. Hardaway behind the screen. Not this time from deep, and the rebound tapped and corralled by Nelson. Nelson in the open floor, attacks and finishes, plus some contact. Utah Valley now content to run something here in the half courts. Trying to get it to Carter Welling over on that right block. Didn't get it there. Now the shot clock running down. It's 6. Nelson turns the corner and finished.
Wow. He wants to find Potter underneath. Potter pivots, puts it over Wood. Not there. Nelson the rebound and the follow.
And that's what
26% from the field, hitting on 4 out of 15. Utah Valley.
Utah Valley close to 50%. This team has a good skill level at every position. They're all comfortable playing with the ball.
Brady, wow, an acrobatic move turns and scores.
Murray's 4 for 4. They only had a few more field goals than that in the first half.
Nelson on the drive.
Utilizing that ball screen again. So effective for them. It's one of the things we talked about at the top of the show, ball screen defense.
Nelson, tough shot, gets in the game with 3:35 to go. Racer fans start to rumble. Potter goes and gets the loose basketball, gives it up to Green. Potter with Ferguson one-on-one. 10 to shoot.
Nelson's a driver.
Nelson stops, lets it hang, got it. Nice shot.
Ethan Potter checked down on the bench. And a fresh shot clock and a fresh miss as Osiris Grady checks in for Potter for the Utah Valley Wolverines. Nelson with the reverse.
Hey. Now look out here for UTEP. They got Ahmad Bynum in. Well, hold that thought.
Nelson and the foul. Nelson Grady. Kick it back out to Toulson. Makes a move. Kicks it back out. Leonard with a man in his face. A putback. Whoa. Yeah, Utah Valley wants to see this basketball go in the hoop before the half. And that's a good way to do it right there. And who else but Dom Green has not scored so far this afternoon. Not too bad for Coach Phillips' squad.
No, we'll give Green a pass. He was only on for 6 minutes, but was doing a nice job filling in down low on the defensive end.
Dom Nelson takes it to the rack. And what a career day.
Yeah, no kidding.
Utah Valley up by 21. And what some of the fans have been chanting, the longest game ever, is almost over.
Is that a chant?
I heard it just a little while ago.
I think they can make that one stick.
And Nelson sets up and makes.
Dominick Nelson.